You might think a Lincoln 1 cent is just a coin, but some modern U.S. Lincoln 1 cent coins are far more than loose change. They're hidden treasures worth hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into the top 3 modern Lincoln cents that collectors are scrambling to find, coins that could be hiding in your wallet, in a jar, or forgotten in a drawer. These aren't just ordinary pennies. They're minting mistakes, limited releases, and rare variations that have stunned the coin-collecting world. Number 3 is so rare, it will make you question whether you've ever really looked at a penny before. Number 2 is a coin that could instantly make your coin collection valuable beyond imagination. And number 1, it's the ultimate modern Lincoln cent. So elusive, so extraordinary, that even experienced collectors search for years without finding one. Every coin has a story, every detail matters, and by the end of this video, you'll see pennies in a way you never thought possible. Don't scroll away, because one of these coins could be in your pocket right now, and if you're lucky, it might just change everything. The history of the Lincoln Cent 2007 begins within the long and iconic timeline of the Lincoln Penny series, which started in 1909 as a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The year 2007 continued the design that had been used since 1959, featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side and the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse designed by Victor David Brenner. The Lincoln Cent of 2007 was struck primarily at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins had no mint mark, while the Denver coins carried a D mark, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with an S mint mark. The coins were made of a copper-plated zinc composition, which had been the standard since 1982, when the United States Mint transitioned from the original 95% copper alloy due to rising metal costs. The 2007 Lincoln Cent holds historical importance as one of the final years before the 2009 redesign, which commemorated the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent itself. Collectors and historians view the 2007 issue as part of the final chapter in the Lincoln Memorial Reverse era, which had represented Lincoln's legacy and the ideals of unity and freedom for nearly 5 decades. During 2007, millions of these coins were produced for circulation, and they remained a common sight in American commerce. The obverse of the coin retained Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, based on a photograph taken by Anthony Berger at Matthew Brady's studio in 1864. This image had become one of the most recognizable depictions of Lincoln worldwide. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicted the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with incredible detail, even including a tiny image of the seated Lincoln statue visible between the columns. This design first appeared in 1959, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and continued to represent the cent until the end of 2008. The production quality of 2007 cents was high, and the mint continued to use advanced die polishing and strike techniques, ensuring sharp details in both business strike and proof examples. Proof coins from San Francisco were struck multiple times on specially prepared planchets, creating a deep mirror-like finish that made them favorites among collectors. The 2007 Lincoln Cent does not contain any major varieties, but certain examples display minor die cracks and doubled dies, which are of interest to error collectors. Some of these small die variations are highly sought after by enthusiasts for their uniqueness. The significance of the 2007 Lincoln Cent extends beyond its physical appearance. It represents the enduring symbolism of Abraham Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War, his dedication to freedom and equality, and his role in shaping the moral direction of the nation. The cent has been the most produced coin in United States history and has served as both a tool for commerce and a symbol of national heritage. By 2007, the Lincoln Cent had become one of the longest continuously running coin designs in American history, second only to a few classic motifs in longevity. The continued circulation of the Lincoln cent reflected the American people's respect for their 16th president and the values he embodied. Though the cost to produce the coin had by then exceeded its face value, debates continued about whether to retire the denomination. Nevertheless, the 2007 issue carried forward a tradition more than a century old, linking modern America to its historical roots and keeping Lincoln's memory alive in every transaction. The story of the 2007 Lincoln cent is one of continuity, legacy, and transition, a coin that served as a bridge between the long era of the Lincoln Memorial design and the coming celebration of Lincoln's life and contributions in 2009. The story of the 2007 Lincoln cent continues as part of a much broader narrative in American coinage and culture. By 2007, the Lincoln cent had already been in production for 98 years, making it not only the most familiar coin in circulation, but also one of the most produced in human history. The cent had gone through several design and composition changes over the decades, but it remained a symbol of American values, progress, and remembrance of a man who preserved the Union. The 2007 coin was struck during a time when the United States Mint was preparing for the historic redesign planned for 2009 to honor the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the coin itself. In this sense, the 2007 cent represents the closing of an era, the final full years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse that had defined the coin for almost half a century. The Mint's operations in 2007 were extensive, producing billions of Lincoln cents for circulation to meet public demand. The Philadelphia and Denver Mints struck business strikes for everyday use, while the San Francisco Mint struck proof coins for collectors. These proof coins were sold in special sets and displayed mirror-like fields and frosted details, making them miniature works of art. The composition of the 2007 cent continued the copper-plated zinc format introduced in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. Each coin contained 975% zinc and only 25% copper plating. This change had been controversial when first introduced because many collectors preferred the traditional heavy copper coins. But by 2007, the copper-plated zinc cents had become the standard for a full generation. Economically, the Lincoln cent had become a topic of debate during the mid-2000s as the cost of producing a single penny began to exceed its 1-cent face value due to metal prices. However, despite these discussions, the coin remained in production primarily for sentimental and historical reasons. The image of Lincoln was deeply embedded in American culture, and the cent was viewed as an accessible way for every citizen to hold a piece of national history. The obverse of the 2007 coin featured Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which had been used since 1909. Brenner, a Lithuanian immigrant, created the design to capture Lincoln's humanity and determination. His initials, VDB, were originally placed prominently on the reverse of the 1909 cent, but due to public criticism, they were removed shortly after release. They were later restored in 1918 in a smaller form under Lincoln's shoulder, where they remain today. The reverse of the 2007 cent, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicted the Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Gasparo's design was remarkable for including the seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, a small but meaningful detail symbolizing Lincoln's continued presence in the American conscience. The 2007 Lincoln cent also reflected broader technological advancements in the Mint's production process. By this time, computer-aided engraving and die-making were standard practices, improving the precision of coin details and consistency across billions of strikes. The Mint was using high-speed presses capable of producing hundreds of coins per minute, ensuring that the Lincoln cent remained a stable part of the economy even as inflation and digital transactions began to reduce the role of small change. Culturally, the Lincoln cent in 2007 was a common piece of Americana found in cash registers, classrooms, and collections across the country. It was often a child's first introduction to numismatics, the art and study of coins. Many Americans associated the penny with good luck, and sayings such as "find a penny," "pick it up" reflected how deeply this small coin had embedded itself in everyday life. Around this time, collectors were also becoming more active in studying minor die varieties and mint errors on Modern Cent's 2007 issues, with doubled dies off center strikes or planche flaws began gaining attention in the hobbyist community. These coins, while rare, reminded collectors that even in the age of mass production, each coin could have a unique story. The global circulation of the Lincoln cent also expanded during this period as billions of American coins found their way into the hands of travelers, traders, and collectors worldwide, making the image of Lincoln one of the most recognized faces on any coin ever produced. As the nation approached the 2009 redesign, the 2007 Lincoln cent stood as a bridge between two historic periods. It represented nearly a century of continuity in American numismatics and symbolized the enduring respect for Abraham Lincoln's leadership integrity and vision for equality. The coin carried the weight of history. In its small size, linking the past struggles of the Civil War era with the modern challenges of the 21st century, the 2007 Lincoln cent was more than currency. It was a living tribute to the man who preserved the nation and to the American spirit of resilience and remembrance. The history of the Lincoln cent in 2008 is a story of transition, legacy, and anticipation as collectors and the general public approached the end of a long-running reverse design and prepared for one of the most important changes in modern United States coinage. During 2008, the Lincoln cent still carried the familiar memorial reverse that had been in use since 1959, a design created to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and to celebrate the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. For nearly 50 years, this reverse had appeared on billions of coins, becoming one of the most recognizable designs in American circulation. As the year 2008 began, expectations grew for the coming 2009 bicentennial program, which would replace the memorial design with a series of 4 historical reverses, each marking a major chapter in Lincoln's life. Because of that upcoming change, the 2008 Lincoln cent quickly gained importance as the final full year of the memorial reverse, and collectors started to view it as the last symbol of an era that began during the presidency of Dwight D. Eisenhower. The obverse in 2008 continued to feature Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Lincoln, first introduced in 1909. The design had remained largely unchanged for nearly a century, capturing Lincoln's thoughtful expression and honoring his legacy as the 16th President of the United States. The portrait had survived multiple artistic trends, metal composition changes, and public preferences, proving its enduring value as a national symbol. The 2008 issues were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and both facilities produced large numbers to meet circulation demands, even though overall use of pennies in commerce had been declining due to rising production costs and changes in consumer behavior. The metal composition remained the same as it had since 1982, with a core of zinc-coated. In copper, a cost-saving measure that continued to be controversial, because the cent cost more to produce than its actual face value. Despite this, the United States Mint maintained production to support everyday transactions, vending machines, cash registers, and traditional banking needs. As 2008 progressed, collectors paid close attention to die varieties, minor striking issues, and quality differences between coins from each mint. Higher-grade examples, especially those with sharp details, brilliant luster, and clean surfaces, were saved in large numbers by hobbyists wanting to preserve the final memorial year for future generations. Beyond the physical coin, the cultural context of 2008 also shaped the significance of the Lincoln cent. The country was facing economic uncertainty, rising metal prices, and debates about whether the penny should be discontinued altogether. Many economists argued that the cent had outlived its usefulness, while others believed it remained a necessary part of American identity and financial tradition. This debate added interest to the 2008 issue, giving it a sense of historical weight that extended beyond normal mintage statistics or design features. In schools, classrooms, and museums, educators pointed to the Lincoln cent as a powerful tool for teaching history, civic responsibility, and national memory. Lincoln represented unity, leadership, and resilience, and the cent carrying his portrait served as a small but constant reminder of those values. For millions of Americans, the penny was often the first coin a child held or collected, making the 2008 piece an emotional link between generations. By the end of the year, excitement for the 2009 redesign was widespread. Numismatists awaited the 4 special reverses that would highlight Lincoln's birth and early childhood, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. Many collectors prepared folders, albums, and cases to document the entire journey, with the 2008 cent standing as the final chapter before the transformation. The United States Mint also prepared for increased public attention, improving production quality, and planning educational outreach programs. The transition was seen not just as a design change, but as a national storytelling moment, with each coin serving as a miniature historical document. Because of all these factors, the 2008 Lincoln cent became far more than a routine yearly issue. It represented the culmination of nearly 50 years of the memorial design, the close of a half-century in American numismatic art, and the threshold of a historic redesign that would redefine the cent for a new generation. Today, collectors look back on the 2008 Lincoln cent as a key piece in the overall Lincoln coinage timeline, a bridge between tradition and innovation, a coin that marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in the story of America's most famous and most widely used coin. The 2008 issue continues to be saved in rolls bags and albums by hobbyists who understand that these cents carry with them the cultural, economic, and artistic meaning of their time, giving the collector a deeper appreciation for the small copper-coated coin that has touched nearly every aspect of American life for more than a century. As interest in the 2008 Lincoln cent grew among collectors, historians, and educators, the broader context of the Lincoln cent's long evolution became increasingly important in understanding why the final memorial reverse year held so much meaning. The Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly 100 years, and by 2008, it had become deeply woven into American culture, everyday commerce, and national symbolism. The decisions made in 2008 were not isolated events, but the result of decades of artistic, economic, and political developments that shaped the identity of the cent and prepared the nation for the dramatic changes scheduled for 2009. One of the key elements in appreciating the history of the 2008 cent is understanding how the memorial reverse itself came into existence back in 1959. The design change introduced during that year celebrated the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and replaced the original wheat ear reverse created by Brenner. From 1959 onward, the memorial design served as a tribute not only to Lincoln himself, but also to the monumental structure that had become a national icon of tribute, reflection, and unity. This design remained untouched until the major redesign of 2009, making the 2008 cent the last of a long and uninterrupted era. Collectors in 2008 understood that they were witnessing a closing chapter, and many took extra steps to preserve coins with strong strikes, minimal wear, and bright mint luster. Another important element shaping the 2008 cent story is the decades-long conversation about the future of the penny, which had become a major topic of discussion long before 2008. As early as the 1980s, policymakers and economists were questioning whether the cent had practical use in an increasingly digital and fast-moving economy. Inflation had reduced its purchasing power to the point that the cent could not buy anything on its own, and merchants often expressed frustration with handling large volumes of low-value coins. These economic debates gave a new layer of significance to the 2008 cent because as the last memorial year, it also represented one of the final years before calls for discontinuation grew stronger. In addition to economics, the year 2008 also illustrated the ongoing challenges of producing the cent. Profitability concerns were rising as metal prices fluctuated and manufacturing costs exceeded the coin's face value. The mint continued to follow congressional directives to produce the cent despite these challenges, and 2008 became one of the years where large quantities were still needed to satisfy both circulation and collector demand. The 2016 Lincoln cent continues the long and respected legacy of the coin first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design that began with sculptor Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln on the obverse remains one of the most iconic images in United States coinage history. Over the years, the Lincoln cent has gone through a number of design and composition changes, but the 2016 issue maintains the style that has been in place since 2010, featuring the Union Shield reverse designed by Lyndall Bass and engraved by Joseph Mena. This shield represents the unity of the nation and Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War. The obverse of the 2016 Lincoln cent shows a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date 2016, and the mint mark, which indicates where the coin was produced. The mints that struck the 2016 cent include Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins do not have a mint mark. The Denver mint coins bear the D mint mark, and the San Francisco mint produced proof coins with the S mint mark. In terms of composition, the 2016 Lincoln cent continues the copper-plated zinc format that has been used since 1982. Each coin is made of 975% zinc and 25% copper, weighing 25 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a plain edge. Although the metallic content of the cent has changed since its early years, the appearance and symbolic meaning remain familiar to collectors and the public alike. Production numbers for the 2016 Lincoln cent were in the billions, demonstrating the continued high demand for this small denomination coin. The United States Mint struck more than 8 billion cents across its facilities for circulation alone, not including special collector issues. The proof versions from San Francisco were included in annual proof sets and are characterized by their mirror-like fields and frosted details. These coins were struck multiple times under high pressure to bring out every detail of the design. Collectors have found interest in certain varieties and mint errors associated with the 2016 cent. Some examples include off-center strikes, die cracks, and double dies, which can add value and excitement to a coin hunt. While no major or dramatic varieties were recorded for the year 2016, the pursuit of high-grade uncirculated examples continues among numismatists. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can command premium prices due to their exceptional condition. Historically, the Lincoln cent represents more than just a small coin in American pockets. It embodies the values of perseverance and unity, symbolized by Abraham Lincoln's life and leadership. Through changing times, economic shifts, and updates in technology, the penny has remained a vital part of U.S. coinage. The 2016 Lincoln cent stands as another chapter in that ongoing story, continuing the legacy of honesty, humility, and service that Lincoln himself represented. In 2016, the cent also reflected the nation's ongoing conversation about the cost of producing the coin, since it costs more than 1 cent to mint a penny. Despite debates about discontinuing the denomination, it continues to circulate widely as both a collector's item and a familiar part of daily commerce. Whether found in pocket, change, or preserved in mint sets, the 2016 Lincoln cent serves as a reminder of the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln and the ideals he fought to uphold. The 2016 Lincoln cent is part of a lineage that spans more than a century of American history, connecting generations through one of the most recognizable coins in the world. When we talk about the 2016 cent, we are talking about a continuation of a design and tradition that began in 1909 under President Theodore Roosevelt's initiative to beautify American coinage. The decision to place Abraham Lincoln on the 1-cent coin in 1909 marked the first time a real person appeared on regular United States coinage. Up to that point, most U.S. coins depicted allegorical figures such as liberty. The debut of the Lincoln cent coincided with the centennial celebration of Lincoln's birth, symbolizing his lasting influence on the nation. Over time, the Lincoln cent has undergone several design transformations. In 1959, for the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the cent, the reverse design was changed from the original wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial created by Frank Gasparo. This design honored both the man and the monument dedicated to him in Washington, D.C. The memorial reverse remained in use for 50 years until 2008, when it was replaced to mark a new chapter in the coin's history. In 2009, the United States Mint issued 4 different reverse designs celebrating the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. These designs depicted key stages of Lincoln's life, including his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. Each design represented a milestone in Lincoln's journey from humble beginnings to becoming one of the most respected presidents in American history. Following the bicentennial celebration, the Mint introduced the Union Shield design in 2010, which continues to appear on all Lincoln cents, including the 2016 issue. The Union Shield is a powerful symbol representing the preservation of the United States as one nation. The shield's design features 13 vertical stripes joined under a single horizontal bar, symbolizing the unity of the original 13 states under the federal government. A banner inscribed with the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many. One stretches across the shield, emphasizing national unity and strength. By 2016, the Lincoln cent had become more than just a piece of currency. It had become an icon of American heritage. Millions of people around the world recognized Abraham Lincoln's image from the penny, even if they had never seen a larger denomination of U.S. coin. The coin's long-standing presence in circulation meant it was often the first piece of money a child received, the first coin used for school collections, or the first piece discovered by beginner coin collectors. Economically, the 2016 Lincoln cent also existed during a time of debate over the practicality of maintaining the 1-cent denomination. The cost of production continued to exceed its face value due to rising metal and manufacturing costs. Despite this controversy, the penny remained in circulation, largely due to public familiarity, sentimental value, and its symbolic connection to Lincoln's legacy. The Mint and Congress have periodically reviewed the idea of discontinuing the penny, but as of 2016, it still played a role in commerce and coinage production. For collectors, the 2016 cent serves as a modern example of how a classic design can persist in a technologically advanced age. The United States Mint used state-of-the-art equipment for precision striking and quality control, allowing for billions of coins to be produced efficiently. Each cent carried forward a design that had endured wars, economic shifts, and cultural changes, yet still honored the same man who led the nation through its most challenging period. Even today, the 2016 Lincoln cent represents continuity and respect for American values. It serves as a small yet meaningful link between past and present, showing that even in a world of digital transactions and cashless payments, the image of Abraham Lincoln remains a timeless reminder of integrity, leadership, and unity. The coin not only connects us to history, but also encourages reflection on how far the nation has come since Lincoln's presidency and how his legacy continues to shape American identity. The 2016 Lincoln cent stands as a modern continuation of a coin that has reflected over a century of American progress, culture, and technological advancement. Its story begins in 1909, when the United States Mint introduced the Lincoln cent to replace the Indian head cent, which had been in circulation since 1859. President Theodore Roosevelt wanted American coinage. To better reflect the nation's heritage and artistic strength, he admired the work of sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose portrait of Abraham Lincoln captured both dignity and humanity. Brenner's design became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic image, marking a turning point in the nation's approach to coin design. When the Lincoln cent debuted in 1909, it featured two wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. This wheat ears design was used for 50 years and became a beloved icon in American coinage history. The original cent was composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, making it rich in color and durable. During World War II, copper was needed for the war effort, so in 1943, the Mint briefly issued steel cents coated with zinc. These silver-colored cents quickly rusted and stuck to magnets, but they remain one of the most fascinating episodes in cent history.